Am I in frame? Can you imagine that I have a gun? Ooh yeah. The joys of doing everything yourself. Hey guys, welcome back to the Untrained Unprofessional Shooting Range. I am Nobody. Nice to meet you if you haven't met me before. And we're continuing the Springfield Prodigy 4.25. So this is a project that I had started talking about while I was doing the 5-inch, and then I got sidetracked and all that, and now I got to play catch up. So the plan is to make this a self-defense gun. Today we're going to do a little bit of reliability shooting, and I have a magazine of 115 grain PMC, a magazine of 124 grain LAX remanufactured, and then what I'm going to do is I have a bunch of different hollow points. Handgun Hunter, which this is not self-defense ammunition, it actually says it's a bear load for 115 grain. Gold Dot, 115 grain. Hornady American Gunner 124s. Sierra Outdoor 124. Critical Duty 135s. Federal Hydroshocks 135s. And Federal Hydroshocks 147s. Now, I didn't get any of these for any specific reason other than to see what in its unmodified form will this thing accept. So, wanted to put it through some paces. Well, actually, I did upgrade the fire control group. So, and that was just because I had it and I wanted to test fit it and everything, and next thing you know, I'd put it back together and I hadn't swapped it back out. So upgraded fire control is in, but other than that, I promise I haven't done anything else. You know, no polishing, sanding, deburring, anything. And I put a light on it because as a oh crap gun that's going to reside in the house, I figure at some point might need a light. So usually since things happen in the dark sometimes. So that's where we're at. I think I'll put some eyes and ears on and get shooting. Hold on a second while I get dressed. Now I'm hoping at this point that my hands will continue to function. We got a storm blowing in here in northern Utah, and the wind is making things wonderful. All right, let's give her a shot. Okay, 115s seem to work pretty good. Let's try 124s. Okay. Well, just like everything else that I have run across, and what a lot of you have talked about, is that your 4.25s tend to run pretty good, you know, with standard full metal jacket ammunition. Now, I don't have any 147 grain FMJs. I looked for them. My local retailer just didn't have any, and I've been too lazy to order stuff. So I spent enough money on all the hollow points. All 7 boxes was like 233 bucks, you know, which was tough to swallow, but it is something that I do just for you guys. So I hope you appreciate it. So with testing these hollow points, because I have more testing that I have to do after this, so I'm not going to shoot a whole lot. I'm going to shoot 2 out of each one. Yeah, it's not really a good test, but it's going to kind of give an idea if it'll even feed. So give me a minute and we'll start. All right, so I made an executive decision while I was loading. So some of these boxes are 25 rounds and the others are 20. The ones that I have 25 rounds, I am going to do 3 rounds. So the Hornady Handgun Hunter 115 is going to get 3, and then the Spear Gold Dot, since this box is 20, is going to get 2. And is that the only one that's 20? All right, so the Handgun Hunter might be the only one that does 3. Let's try Handgun Hunter. Ah! Did you see my flinch? All right, so I do have a primer strike. I don't know if you can see that. I'm gonna try it again. I don't know. 115 grain Spear Gold Dot. Seem to be okay. All right, I'm gonna load up the next 2. Give me a second. Freezing for science. Now, I just realized that both Hornadys do come with 25. So we're gonna do 3 of the American Gunner 124s. Okay, successful. 2 of the Sierra Outdoor Master 124s. Gonna set up again. Critical Duty 135s. Got 3 of them. First one felt a little snappy. I'll show this to you when we get back to the bench, but these 135 Hydra-Shocks just look so mean. It'd be a very bad day. .147s. I know I have fingers, I just can't feel them. All right, Federal 147. All right. I'm pleasantly surprised and happy with how that worked out. The only little hiccup was on the Handgun Hunter, and I don't know if that could be maybe a hard primer, or maybe it didn't seat all the way, or maybe I limp wristed or something. I don't know. So, but I'm gonna clean up the brass and we'll head back to the bench and we'll talk about a few things. Well, guys, made it back to the Untrained Unprofessional workbench, and my hands feel like they are coming back alive. I can actually feel things, so that is a plus. Now, in preparation for the outing today, I actually went through and took a bunch of measurements on all these bullets and basically came to the conclusion that it's possible that nothing I did on that actually will point out what happened. Yeah, that just that just serves me right to try to be prepared. So always procrastinate till the last second and then do things. Don't be prepared. That's the moral of the story. All right, now what do I think happened? well. I was expecting bullet length or overall length could be a determining factor, or how far the bullet projects from the case could be a factor. But now, looking at everything, I think what it is on this handgun hunter, which I think is kind of cool, it's got a little polymer or liquid polymer was poured into it and solidified, and kind of reminds me of like a poison bullet from like a spy movie. But anyway, what I think what it is that the bullet is just fatter closer to the hollow point, or towards the tip, and that could potentially have slowed it down from seating all the way, or maybe it got stuck in the lands and grooves or something. It's the only thing I can think of. Or it was entirely me. I could have limp-wristed it. I watched the film of me shooting, and it didn't look like it, but I'm watching it on a 2.5-inch screen, so take that for what it is. I'll know more when I go through and start editing, but I think it's the projectile shape. So, and that could be that, you know, maybe something in the barrel needs to be reamed a little bit. I don't know, I'll run a reamer through it and see if I pull out any extras. But that's the only thing I can come up with, guys, so there's that. Now, the other thing, I told you, you know, it's like how nasty this Federal Premium Hydroshock looks. And it's like, if you look here, doesn't that look like a little British crown of death? I mean, that thing just looks nasty. And here is the front end of it. Doesn't that just look miserable? Not that any of these look like they would be pleasant, but that one just, when I saw it, I just went, yeah, that would not be a fun day for anyone. Okay, now that's out of the way. Thanks for putting up with me. What is the next steps on this Prodigy? Well, I got a lot of the parts that I am going to be upgrading. I am tracking down a tritium sight set, so I just feel that with home defense gun and low light conditions, that, you know, maybe having night sights would be a good idea. So what are your guys' thoughts? I haven't ordered it yet. I'll probably order it here next week. So give me your opinion on what you think. Let's see. Other than that, guys, I'm going to start going through and start polishing and smoothing things out. I do have a little bit of a hiccup on the disconnector, especially when I drop the hammer. It just wants to kind of catch. Of course, earlier, right before I was doing this, I was actually getting it to hold back. So, yeah, I wasted a... Ooh, there we go. So, need a little bit of work on the disconnector and the front edge of the breech face. And just general reliability kind of stuff. And then going to start swapping out parts. I'm going to bring you along the way on this. I'll be doing a little bit of work at a time and actually showing what I'm doing, so you guys can learn from my mistakes and laugh at me. You know, unless I actually do something correct, then hey, you're welcome. And there we are. So we're going to call this one the end of this video, and